Hey, Frank, can you just give us maybe an assessment of your team's play at AIC?
A little assessment of our team's play at AIC. Well, we watched AIC play for most of the first game and most of the second game, and they're an experienced team. They're just like it just is what it is. We went on the road. We took a long break. We ended on a good note against Canisius, taking 5 of the 6 points on that weekend. Went into AIC against a very experienced team, and they came out. They had a lot of jump they deserved to win the first game, and we really didn't get our legs under us. Like our guys are trying and they're hanging in there, and an emphasis point going into that third period, we're down 3-0. Is like, hey, we ain't going to win many games if we don't win many periods, and we hadn't won a period all weekend, and hey, it's 3-0. We win this period, we're at least going to be able to pull. We're gonna have an exciting goalie pull at the end. We gotta leave here with something. If we can win that third period, we're going to have a chance to win the game. And sure enough, we came out and we scored 3 goals in like the first 10 minutes. We had them on their heels, and we had some other opportunities, and they just didn't bounce. And they got an opportunity and found a way to get a goal with 5 minutes. But we ended that on a good note. I don't know. I work for a guy at North Dakota, Gino Gasparini, who always used to say the only thing you learn from losing is losing. And in losing that game, hey, we've got to be better. But we came back in that third period, had a big third period, could have easily gotten points, could have easily won that game. And the biggest thing, I think, and I asked the guys yesterday, we are not going to see a better team in our league than them. We're not that. And I go, and with all due respect to them, like you're going to have to be, we would have to be on our best to beat a team like that. But if that's the best our team has to offer, in all due respect, like we've got a lot to play for. I would love to have the opportunity to earn our way into a Final Four situation and play against a team like that, one game for all the marbles in either the semis or in the finals. So as a group, we talked about our goals, our short-term goals, our long-term goals. And, when you look at the league this year, our 6 teams are going to make the playoffs. There's 10 teams, so 6 are going to get buys, are going to get first round buys. Only 4 teams are going to be playing in the first round. And with what we've seen from our group this year so far, why can't we be one of those first round buys? And if we are, then we're going to play a team like AIC, an equivalent to AIC most likely in the quarterfinals, and that's going to be a best of 3. We'll have 2 weeks to prepare for that team, and then we'll take it from there. If we get to the Final Four, we get to the Final Four. But I think it's important for our group. We're not deep. We're not old. If we can earn one of those first-round buys, one of those 6 buys, that would be huge. Give us a long period of time to prepare. And the other thing, obviously, every game's important. We need to get points out of every game. But there's one series that's a little bit bigger than the others, and that's our series with West Point. And Brian Riley's got himself a really, really good West Point team. We didn't have the opportunity to play them last year, the year before, when they were starting to just gel and come together as a group. We went there and we lost we tied the first night, losing a shootout, but ended up being a tie. And then they handled us pretty good the second night. So when you're looking at our schedule, we need to get points in every series in order to get one of those first round buys. And obviously the Army series is circled. That's a big series for our players, for their players, for their institution and our institution.
Do you feel like it's good having, you basically have 2 weeks to prepare for them this time around because you don't play this weekend.
Right, we got Niagara coming in 2 weeks. So we've got some time to prepare for that, and it is what it is. I would rather be playing right now. The second week off break, we had almost a month-long break, and then we come off, we play one series, and we got another break, and all that happened. You can't really blame anybody for that. The void when Robert Morris pulled out late created some weird things in the schedule for everybody, and that's kind of what we got left holding the bag with. But it is what it is. We had Rowe getting a little dinged up, and he should be healthy by the Niagara games. Not sure he would have been ready for this weekend. So it is what it is. We'll take the weekend. Well, we're not going to take the weekend off. We're going to practice and prepare, and we'll get ready for that series against Niagara. And then I guess for all intents and purposes, that's the true stretch run for us.
What do you think the biggest thing is your team needs to work on moving ahead?
The biggest thing we need to work on, I think we have a pretty good young team. We're just young, and we need to work on getting older. Can you help me with that? Is there any way you can accelerate that process? I need to work. If you can get younger, I'll take that. But I need my guys to get older, and Mother Nature is in full control of that. To be honest with you, I'm real pleased with how our team is playing, how our team is coached. My coaching staff is led by Joe Doyle, is doing a fantastic job with our kids, and we're not getting out coached. We're not tactically. We're not getting. We're not. There's nobody that's Xing and O'ing on us to death, and our kids play with spirit. This team plays with an edge. Like they're an entertaining group to watch because we haven't probably had a group with this kind of physicality since 2009, and there we had experience and physicality, and it almost got us into the Frozen Four. But this group plays with a little bit of edge. They're not fun to play against, and the way the landscape is right now, with how old these teams are, with 6-year players, 5th-year players, 4th-year players, we aren't ever going to have 6th-year players or 5th-year players. We're always going to be playing against experienced teams with the transfer portal. Teams aren't going to be rebuilding like they once were, and a couple of things we have to have on our side of the ledger. Joe Scott touched on them, like the attitude, the effort. There's certain things in our game. We can compete harder than our opponents, and we can be more physical. We can be tougher and more physical, and those are things that are important to us right now, and they're going to be very important to us as we look to the future.
Anybody on the phone with a question? Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt that. I'm just curious about Willie's performance over the past weekend. You got some good production out of him. A team that's so young, do you expect players like him to step up? Have you had a conversation with him about his successful weekend?
Oh, Willie's a great player. Willie could play on any team in the country. Big, strong, talented guy, power forward. When you look at our young team and you watch us play, which one ain't like the other one? It's Willie. He's only a junior, but he looks. He just has a presence out there. And the other guy that's really come on this year, kind of come out of nowhere, and all of our guys have had to play ahead of their pay grade because we're so darn young. But Sam Brennan has been, and he and Willie were players of the month last week, but yesterday they announced players of the month for the month of December. And Sam Brennan, we knew he was a good player, but like he has taken a gigantic step, and pretty comforting knowing we're going to have him in our lineup for the next couple of years. He not only plays with great defensively, but he's also producing offensively from the blue line too, which is something that you have to have.
I'm also curious about just kind of the layoff between playing, at your home ice. It's going to be a month and a half almost between that Canisius series and Niagara. Does that get in the guys' heads at all? You as a coach, does that affect you? I could be totally off base, but is there some urgency to get back on home ice and kind of get back in the grind of things? You talked about it a bit on the when you came in.
Yeah, I think, well, for one thing, like the break was good for our young group. They needed, we pushed them hard. They competed hard. They did everything we asked them, but they were mentally, they were fried by the end of finals, and it was good for this young group to get away, to be able to have 10 days at home. They came back refreshed, but a little bit rusty, and we've been in this position before. Oftentimes, it's about being the best team in March. It's late February and March. That's what it's all about. We want to be at our best at that point in time, and taking this time off, we generally come back in early January, and we've got some rust, and it's over time, over the years, it's kind of been a situation where, we take a step back by taking that long break, but it's in the past, it's enabled us to take 2 steps forward and be the team that we want to be in late February and early March.